So, do you guys remember this from Tuesday? It dribbled all of us. Nobody knew what was going on. I figured this out as soon as we ended our lesson. Okay? So the problem is over here, guys. The problem is over here. These numbers are getting smaller, not bigger. That's why it is confusing. So remember when we wrote our inputs, usually we would write 1, 2, 3, 4. But in this case, they're actually going backwards. They're going smaller, okay? Because -2 is actually greater than -3. And -3 is bigger than -4. So actually this table should have been arranged like so. It should have been -10 at the top, -3, -4. Nope, 4 first. 4, 3, and then -2, which means my outputs would have been -29, -11, -8, and -5. Now, if you look at the outputs, okay, how do we go from -11 to -8? How do you go from -11 to -8? Remember before we said we were subtracting 3, but that's not what we're doing. From -11 to -8, you are actually adding 3, guys. This is why our formula didn't work. And from -8 to -5, we are adding 3. So my multiplier is in fact not -3, but my multiplier is +3. So now let's try our formula. So I'm going to say +3 times -2. What's 3 times -2? 3 times -2, that's -6. But I want a -5, so I'm going to add 1 to get to -5. Plus 1 equals -5. Let's try it with 4, okay? 3 times -4, how much is that going to give me? 3 times -4 is -12, and if I add 1, that's -11. Is that the outcome that we want? Is that our desired output? Yes. So what is my rule, guys? My rule is nice. 3 times x plus 1. So the mistake we had made is that it was actually decreasing going down when it should have been increasing going down. So that was the trick. So multiply was +3 and not -3. No wonder it didn't want to work. Okay. So if anyone else had sleepless nights over this is our answer. Right, let's get started with today's stuff, okay? Now, remember with our flow diagrams, all of my inputs would be on which side? We had a left-hand side and we had a right-hand side. And where would all the inputs be with the flow diagram? The left, and all my outputs would be on the right-hand side. Now, in this case, we have the same information, okay? Only difference is my input will be at the top of the table and my outputs will be represented at the bottom of the table. So now it says for each input, multiply by 4 and then subtract 5. So if we use this to make a formula, what is it going to do? It's going to say y equals what? Follow the sentence here and give me my formula, please. Nice. 4x, it says subtract though. What does subtract mean? 4x minus 5. Okay. Now, before we go anywhere, I'm just going to check with the existing inputs and outputs that it does work, okay? So I'm going to substitute 3 and see what happens. Y equals 4 times 3 minus 5. What is 4 times 3? 4 times 3, 12 minus 5. That's 7. So this formula is in fact correct. Now, they said to us, we need to figure out what A and B are. So for A and B, are we going to substitute them at the X or at the Y? Look at where they are on the table. Are they inputs or are they outputs? There we go. So we're going to substitute 35 and 55 at Y because that's what's given, right? So you're going to say 35 equals 4x minus 5. Now, I want to know what this x is, and I want to get it alone. First things first, we need to get rid of this negative 5. How am I going to get rid of negative 5? How will I get rid of that negative 5? The inverse, and that's to go on the other side, right? So I'm going to take it over to the other side. Then it's going to become 35 plus 5 equals 4x, which is 40 equals 4x. Now, how do I get rid of the 4 that is now in front of my x? This guy over here. Beautiful. Saying divide both sides by 4. Therefore, x is equal to 10. Nice. X is equal to 10. Next one, we're going to do the same thing. 55 is equal to 4x minus 5. Once again, to get rid of my 5, I have to take it over and it becomes a positive. So it's 55 plus 5. What's 55 plus 5? 60 equals 4x. Now I have to get rid of this 4, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Therefore, x is equal to 15. So if you want to actually technically answer the question, you're going to say A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 15. Okay. Let's continue. Next one. This time we have been given the formula, okay? And once again, we are looking for our inputs. That means we're going to substitute all of my numbers where? These numbers that I'm highlighting in blue here, where in my formula will I substitute them? Nice. At Y, okay? So let's start with number C. It says 4 equals, let me zoom in a little bit, okay? That number looks a little bit small. 4 equals, now mine looks massive. X divided by 2 plus 4. How will I get rid of all the numbers around it? This plus 4, if I take it over, it becomes minus 4. So on the left-hand side, you have 4 minus 4 is equal to x divided by 2. What's 4 minus 4? 0 is equal to x divided by 2. Now, I have a divide by 2. What's my inverse operation for divide by 2? Times by 2. You're going to times both sides by 2. These ones are going to cancel out. And on my left-hand side, I have 2 times 0. So what's my answer? Therefore, x is equal to 0. Beautiful, guys. For D, 12 is equal to x divided by 2 plus 4. Once again, 4 is carried over, becomes negative. So it's 12 minus 4. How much is 12 minus 4? That is 8 is equal to x divided by 2. Again, how am I going to get rid of divide by 2? times 2 on both sides. These will cancel out. Therefore, x is equal to 16. And for the last one, we have 17 equals x divided by 2 plus 4. For the third time today, we are carrying the 4 over and it's becoming negative. So I have 17 minus 4 equals x divided by 2. What's 17 minus 4? Nice, guys. 13 equals x divided by 2. We're going to multiply by 2 on both sides, as we have been doing. Okay, times 2, times 2. Therefore, x is equal to? Therefore, x is 26. That went very fast. So let me check thumbs up, thumbs down on what we've done so far in the lesson. Is everybody with me? Is everyone with me here? I'm not getting nearly enough thumbs up for the amount of people that are in here. So please give me feedback. If you are lost or I went a bit too fast, just tell me to slow down a little bit or that you're lost, whatever it is. All right. Okay, all I see is thumbs up, so we can continue. Okay. Now, we need to find the formula for this table. Find the formula. All right. Now, if we look at my outputs, what is happening there by outputs there? I have 76, 82, 88. What is happening by output? Difference of 6. And difference means which operation? Subtract. Difference means subtract. So what are we actually doing here? We are not subtracting. I went from 76 to 82. So what are we doing? Adding. Nice. Adding 6. So it's a sum of 6, not difference. Okay. All right. So then 6 is my what? What is my special word again? 6 is going to be our what is 6? Multiplier. Our multiplier. 6. Now let's check with 12. 6 times 12. What's 6 times 12? 6 times 12. 72. Is that my desired outcome? Is 72 the output that I'm looking for here? Look carefully at the table. No, it isn't. What outcome are we looking for here? 76. So what do I still have to do to get to 76? I need to add 4, and that'll give me 76. Let's check it with 14. 6 times 14. How much does that give us? Six times 14 is 84. And if I add 4, I get 88. Is that my desired outcome? Yes, so then my formula is y is equal to, I saw someone posted it in the chat saying, Annie, thank you, 6x plus 4. Now we need to look for A and B. Are A and B outputs or inputs? A and B, do we have outputs there or inputs? They are outputs. So where am I going to substitute 15 and 16? I am going to substitute 15 and 16 where? Be careful, guys. Look carefully. Nice, and delay at X. A and B are the outputs, but 15 and 16 are my inputs. So I'm going to substitute those at X. So then for the first one, you're going to say y is then equal to 6 times 15 plus 4. What's 6 times 15? 6 times 15, that is 90. And if you add 4, 94. Beautiful. And for the last one, y is equal to 6 times 16. What's 6 times 16? 96. And if we add 4, that is 100. So this is 94 and this is 100. We could have just gotten it by adding 6. Can you see that? But of course, we like doing things the fancy way. All right. Can I continue? Screenshotters, have we done our thing? Are we done? Okay. Now, I have 4 formulas here. All right, equations and 4 tables. Now, we need to match these equations to the tables. But now my problem is 1.2 and 1.3, which are not in standard form. Okay, so standard form means the form that says y equals something, something, something x. That's what we want before we can even solve these. Okay, so let's get 1.2 and 1.3 in standard form. Then you can start matching the tables with the equations. Let's start with 1.2. 1.2 says 2x plus 3y. I'm wasting space. 2x plus 3y equals 6. I want y to be on its own. So first, we need to get rid of 2x. How will I do that? How will I get rid of this 2x that's next to my 3y? Divide by 2. Remember, we're not solving for x here. We want y. So this whole 2x needs to go away. How will I do that? Does anybody know? Nice, minus 2x. Nice, Roliboa. Guys, you must subtract. Okay, we're getting rid of 2x. So this 2x must go to the other side over there. And if it goes to the other side, it becomes a negative 2x. So on this side, I'll be left with 3y equals negative 2x plus 6. Okay, do we all understand that step specifically before I continue? We are not solving for x, so we cannot divide by 2. You must get rid of the whole 2x by taking it to the other side. Andile, do you want to unmute so we can speak about where I've lost you? No? Okay, there we
Hello,
go.
ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, ma'am. Ma'am, I don't get it by where you said, how did you make negative 2x to be at the other side?
Okay, Andile, so we actually just used opposite operations, né? So we want the 3y to be on its own. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So I had a 2x on the side and a plus 3y. So if I want to get rid of a plus 4, what do I do, Andile?
You change it into negative 4.
So you
Or you
minus
minus
4,
it 4.
right? Because it's going to be 4 minus
Yes.
4. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So on this side, I want to get rid of a whole 2x. So I'm going to minus a 2x.
Minus 2x.
But what I do on the left-hand side, I must go
You
and do
do it
on the...
the right side.
There we go. So this one will disappear because it's 2x minus 2x. It's gone. Do you see?
Okay. Okay.
And then on
Yes,
this
ma'am.
side, I just rewrote it in a different order. So I put the 2x first. So it's minus 2x plus 6.
Oh. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, I hope that helped someone as well. Thank you, Andile, for asking a question. I like it when you guys ask questions. Okay, now let's continue. Now we still have a 3 that's in front of my y. How am I going to get rid of this 3 in front of the y? How will I get rid of the 3 that's in front of my y? Divide everyone by 3. Everybody. So I'm going to divide by 3 over here, divide by 3 over there, divide by 3 over there. These 3's are going to cancel out. So I'm going to be left with y equals negative 2 over 3x. What's 6 divided by 3? Plus what? Plus 2. Thank you, Andile. Everyone else is quiet. I feel like I've lost some of us. Remember, guys, if you are going to divide by a number, every term must be divided by that number. Okay. So if you're going to divide here, you better divide here and here as well. If I was going to multiply here, I was going to multiply here and here as well. Okay, that's the rule. So now we have sorted out 1.2. This is 1.2 in standard form. Let's work with 1.3, which will go much quicker. It says x times y equals 12. How am I going to get rid of this x in front of my y? This one. Not minus, because I'm currently multiplying it. So how do I get rid of multiplication? Through division, right? So division. So then I have to divide x by x on both sides. So I'm going to divide here by x so that they cancel each other out. And then divide here by x. Therefore, my formula is y is equal to 12 over x. And we're done with 1.3. Now let's try to match them. Is there anyone who has started trying to match them? Or are we just going to do it together? We can do it together. Yes, Senyani, you can unmute.
Ma'am, I got for table D and C.
Table D and C.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with C. Which one did you get for table C?
I got 1.2.
So 1.2 match table C. Okay, let's try something out, okay? I'm going to substitute one of the points and see. All right, let's see.
Okay.
Y is equal to, you said table C, ne?
Yes.
Okay, y is equal to negative 2 over 3 times negative 3, which is basically over 1, plus 2. Okay, let's see here, guys. We have a negative and a negative, so my answer is going to be positive. We can cross cancel. 3 goes into itself once, so that means it's going to give me a positive 2 plus 2, which is 4. And that is indeed our desired result. Beautiful. So then table C goes with 1.2. Okay, which other one did you say you found?
Table D, which goes
D
with 1.1.
1.1.
Yes.
Okay, let's check. 1.1 is 2x plus 4. Okay, let me check at the bottom here. Y is equal to 2 times, 2 plus 4. 2 times 2 is 4, plus another 4, and that gives me 8, and that is correct. Table D goes with 1.1. Is there anybody who has matched table A and B so far? Anybody who has matched table A and B? Or we can just do it together. Okay? So 1.3 says y equals 12 divided by x. Okay, so I'm going to check it with table A. So I'm going to say y equals, okay, 12 divided by, and I'm going to choose the 0. Is it possible to divide 12 by 0? Is this possible? No. What do I write here? What do I write? Anytime you divide by 0, you say your answer is, what's the word we use for it? Undefined. So is it then possible that table A goes with 1.3? Because table A is definitely not undefined. It says -1 here. So no, they don't match. Okay, so let's check with table B quickly. Y equals 12 divided by 1. What's 12 divided by 1? That is 12. Is that my desired outcome? If you look at table B, I substituted 1, I got 12. Yes, so that means 1.3 goes with table B. And for the last one, we know our answer, but let's just check. So y equals x squared minus 1. -3 squared minus 1. What's -3 squared? We spoke about this in the previous lesson. A negative times a negative, that is +9. And if we subtract 1, that is 8. Is that my desired outcome? Yes, it is. So that means table A goes with 1.4. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit for you guys to take a screenshot. If I can remember how this, there we go. All right, how was that question, guys? Did you guys enjoy that question? Okay, I have a thumbs up. There we go. And Tali has answered me, so that's wonderful, wonderful. Simtandila says some time to write. Okay, I'll try to slow down a bit, okay? I will try to slow down a little bit so that we all have some time to write. Oh, Rawa, I like that feedback. I like it, I like it. Okay. So Simtandile, remember, if I'm going too fast, even when I slow down, I know I've been going a bit way too fast now, but I'm going to try and slow down. But if it's still too fast for you, you can either take a screenshot or you can watch the video after we upload it. Okay. We usually upload it in about 48 hours. It's definitely uploaded on the yes, it is on the website as well and on the Google Classroom. So if you missed something, guys, and you want to rewatch either the whole lesson or just the section, you are welcome to open that video and watch it at your own pace. Okay. But I will try to go a little bit slower for us in this particular lesson. I also feel like we've been flying a little bit. Oh, Mutibang understands now. Beautiful. That is wonderful. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I zoomed in a little bit too much. Okay, I want us to find the rules for number 2 and 3. Okay, let's start with number 2. Let's look at the outputs. -3, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. What is happening there with my outputs? What is happening with my outputs? Nice, Senyani. Let me find a new color. We are adding 3. So from there to there, plus 3. There to there, plus 3. And so on and so forth. So then 3 becomes my what? 3 is my multiplier. So it's my multiplier 3. Okay. Let me disable this so that we don't all scribble on the screen. Now, let's check it with the first one. If I say 3 times -2, what's 3 times -2? Nice, Maureen. A positive and a negative gives us a negative, and 3 times 2 is 6. But my desired outcome here is negative 3. So how are we going to get from negative 6 to negative 3? I'm going to add 3. So that is negative 3. Okay. Let's check it with one more. 3 times, I'm going to go with 0. What's 3 times 0? Someone said, wait, how? Pamandla? Think of the number line. Okay, I'm very bad at drawing, but think of the number line. Okay, there we go. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6. So, Pamandla, when we are adding, which direction do we go? Left or right? We are adding, which direction do we go? Adding, we go right, okay? Because think about it. If I say 0 plus 1, I'm going to move to the right and go that way, which means when I'm subtracting, am I going to go left or right? For subtraction, I'm going to go left, right? Now, we were at negative 6. And we wanted to be at negative 3. So we had to move from negative 6 to 3. Is that left or right? If I'm moving from negative 6 to 3, that is right. So that means we are adding or subtracting. We are adding. And we have to add, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So that's how we came up with plus 3. I hope I answered. There we go. Pamandla, you're welcome. And I know you're not the only one, guys. Integers dribble us. We have to go practice those for exams, and they are everywhere. They are in algebra, number patterns, graphs, functions. So integers, guys, we have to practice integers. We really have to practice them. All right, so 3 times 0, you guys said is 0. And if I add 3, that gives me, nice Marlene, that gives me 3. They are a part of life, so we need to practice, guys. So therefore, my formula is 3x plus 3. Thanks, Maureen, but I did see someone else also did post it at the top. It's Sanyani, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. 3x plus 3. And let's do the next one. In this case, the numbers are getting smaller and smaller. I'm going from 3 to negative 3 to negative 9 to negative 15. So what's going on here? I'm subtracting 6 minus 6. Bali, when you go on the website at the bottom, I'm pretty sure I've seen an archive of the old lessons, or you can go to the Google Classroom. Are you part of the Google Classroom? So then my multiplier is negative 6. So I'm going to challenge you guys to try and find the formula for this one. Try and find the formula for this one. And the first person to get it, send it in the chat, and then we'll check your answer. Oh, I see 2 answers. I see 2 answers and they differ very slightly. A very, very, very small difference. Oh, there we go. Not anymore. All right, so negative 6. If you check it with the first one, negative 6 times negative 1. What's negative 6 times negative 1? Nice, Andile and Seth. That is positive 6, but then I have to subtract 3 to get to where I want, which is 3. Okay, remember, you check it more than once. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Remember what happened with the last flow diagram, the one we had to do today? It worked for one, but not the other. So we have to check it. So negative 6 times 0 is 0. And if I subtract 3, I get negative 3. And that is correct. So therefore, my formula is y is equal to negative 6x minus 3. Wonderful. Beautiful, guys. Shout out to the two guys who got it. To a lady and a guy, sorry. This is me assuming, yeah, you guys get it. Seth and Singani, major shout out for getting this first. Okay. This one is too easy for my lovely people over here. Let's see. Yeah, this one. We're going from negative 3 to 7 to 17. We need to find the formula, and the second part, we need to find A and B. So let's hear. What do we think is happening over here? What do you guys think is happening? We are adding 10. Beautiful, guys. Plus 10, plus 10. Okay, so then 10 is my multiplier. All right, so let's start with the first one. 10 times negative 1. What's 10 times negative 1? Ten times negative 1, that's negative 10, but that's not the answer we want. So what do we have to do to get to negative 3? Think of the number line. Nice. We have to plus 7. Plus 7. Okay, that'll give us negative 3. And if we try it with number 1, with input of 1, that'll be 10 times 1, which is 10. And when we add 7, that is 17. So that means my rule is what? Nice, Maureen didn't even wait. That means my rule is 10x plus 7. Now, let's start with B, because with B, we've been given the input. Where do I substitute that 14? Do I substitute it at my X or my Y? The 14 I substitute to my X. It's an input. Look where it is. Okay. Remember, inputs are at the top, or X is at the top and Y is at the bottom. So it'll be Y is equal to 10 times 14 plus 7. What's 10 times 14? 140. And if I add 7, 147. Now we have 57. Is 57 my input or output? Where do I substitute it? Nice, Singani. Where do I substitute that 57? At my Y value. So then I'll say 57 is equal to 10x plus 7. How am I going to get rid of that plus 7? I'm going to take it over, first of all, and then it's going to become a minus 7. So then I have 57 minus 7 equals 10x. And as you guys have already told me, 57 minus 7 is 50 equals 10x. How am I going to get rid of this 10? Nice. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Therefore, x is 5. Now, just to be technical about it, remember to go back here and say B is 147 and A is 5. because they gave us specific variables to use. Okay. They gave us very specific variables to use. All right. Hopefully everyone has what they need from these questions. How many marks would this be? Okay, if I was a teacher for this formula, I would give you one for the coefficient and one for the constant. And then, of course, one for substituting at the right place. And your final answer, again here, one for substituting at the right place. Where is it? There. And one for your answer. So this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks. 5 marks. Okay. Speaking of which, I hope you guys have signed up for the exam bootcamp. We will be doing such things. We'll be doing exam questions and showing you mark allocations. Klali, where should I put the 6 marks? No, you don't need the 6 marks. It's just 5. So you get one for correctly identifying the multiplier over here. One for finding what you add or subtract. There's 6 ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guys, I can't count. It's 6, guys. 6 free marks. Imagine. But the chances are this will be the only question that has like a table and finding this. So it's 6 marks, but like, you know, it's 6 out of 50, which is still 12%. Or 6 out of 100, which is 6%. So yes, guys. Guys, for the exam bootcamp, please send a message to the WhatsApp group. Or if your parents are on the community, they would have gotten a sign-up thingy, a sign-up link. Okay, supposed to be on the 11th and the 18th of May. So please, please, please be there. We'll be doing exam questions and mark allocations. You guys are doing better than passing, Kale. Come on now. Whoop, who's up for a brain break? Brain break. There we go. Number 1, Andile. Andile said me. Andile, there we go. Let me unmute Andile. Andile, are you there? You can unmute yourself.
Sawubona, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello,
Andile,
ma'am.
tell us, would you rather have very sensitive taste buds or super sensitive hearing?
Lana ngakhethi taste, ma'am.
Andile, you're going to be a
I mean,
PTE.
ma'am, no, ma'am. In fact, hearing, ma'am.
Guys, something tells me Andile likes food.
No,
Something
ma'am,
tells
no,
me
ma'am.
Andile
Ngingenza iphutha bona ma'am bengafundanga
Oh,
grade yabo.
okay. All right, Andile, siyabonga. Thank you. Guys, I feel like I'm already sensitive at hearing. Like I hear the smallest things, which is annoying because I wake up for like very low sounds. Like I'll hear something drop in like the next room and I'm like, what is that? What is that? And now, yeah, then my night is ruined. So yeah, guys, anyway, Tlali, are you there?
Yes.
There we go. Tlali, would you rather be the only child or have 10 siblings?
10 siblings.
You don't want to be alone.
No, ma'am. Being
Ah,
alone is lonely. Having siblings
that's
is
true.
actually a nice thing. 'Cause if you're girls, you can braid each other's hair.
Ah, that's so cute, guys. Tlali is like cute. She's a family person. That is so adorable.
Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
okay, Tlali. Thank you. Tlali wants company, guys. Tlali doesn't want to be alone. I see you guys. Maureen is like, not for me. Give me a 0 on that section. I want to be alone. Wow. Teboho, are you ready for your question?
Yes, I'm ready.
Teboho, would you rather have a giant tongue or giant feet?
Oh, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Giant feet.
Tebogo, are you short like me?
Yes, ma'am.
Tebogo, imagine being a size 13 and you are short.
Ma'am, by the tongue. Whoa.
Or size 15 or 17. Guys, do you know how short I am? Oh my goodness. I would not be able to. Like, no. Nope. Spamanda, you're probably tall though. Oh, I look tall. That's a compliment. Guys, I am like, I think I'm 4'11". That's really short. So imagine I had like huge, ginormous feet. That's not gonna work for me, guys. That's not gonna work. I am very short, guys. See, if I'm not, that's why you have giant feet. You're 6 foot. I'm 4'11". So just imagine. And the last one, guys, would you rather have breakfast in bed or a midnight snack? A snack. Same, guys. I don't see myself waking up early just for food. No. I'd rather stay up late and eat midnight snack. I know, guys. Midnight snack slaps. Okay, guys, are we ready to continue? We still have about 10 minutes, so I think we can get in at least 2 more questions here. All right, let's see what's going on here. -9, -7. I don't know why I just did that. What's happening with our outputs? -9. Nice, Kale, on the ball. +2. So then +2 becomes our what? It becomes our what? Multiplier. 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with, this time I'm going to test it with numbers that are at the end. So I'm going to say 2 times 3. What's 2 times 3? That is 6, but I want a -1. So what do I still have to do? I have to minus what to get to a -1? 7 minus 7, and that'll give me -1. Let's go to number 1. Let's test it with 1. If I say 2 times 1, that will give me 2. And if I subtract 7, what is my answer? -5. Is that my desired outcome? Yes. So what is our rule here, guys? 2x minus 7. Beautiful. You guys are so good at this. Okay, are we done writing? Okay. Now, I want us to do these ones. This is more interesting, okay? Now, we have a table over there, -5, -2, 1, 4, 7, and 10. A, we're going to find the rule. And then B, we're going to show that our rule is the same as that equation that they gave us there. So let's first find our rule. Let's see our outputs from -5, -2, 1, 4, 7, and 10. What's happening with our outputs? What is the relationship of our outputs? How do I get from one to the next? Nice, Zanande. We are adding 3. Plus 3, plus 3. So then my multiplier is 3. So 3 times -1, what's that going to give me? -3, but I want -5. So I have to subtract 2, and that's negative 5. I'm going to test it with one more, with the 4. 3 times 4, what is that going to give me? 12. And if I subtract 2, that gives me 10. Is that my desired outcome? Yes. So what is my rule? Y is equal to 3x minus 2. Okay. Now, how are we going to show that the rule we just got here now, this one, is equivalent to this over here? Let me rewrite this that we have to prove. So y is equal to 4 plus x minus 2 times a 3 on the outside. How will we prove that, guys? There is only one way we can prove this, and that is by simplifying this equation that they give us. So we have to simplify this. Okay, now I have I have an addition and I have multiplication here. BODMAS says we start where? Where do we start? Brackets or multiplication. We cannot simplify inside the brackets. You guys see that? X minus 2 is just x minus 2. There's no answer for that. So it's actually multiplication. It's not brackets. Okay. So I have to multiply this 3 by the brackets. Does anybody know what we call that special technique we use to multiply something into the brackets? We used it in exponents as well. What is my magic word? It starts with D. Almost there. Distribution. That means everyone inside the brackets gets multiplied by 3. So I'm going to leave this 4 on the side, okay? Because, yeah, we can't do anything about it. Plus, what is 3 times x? 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times negative 2, positive 3 times negative 2 is minus 6. Can we simplify this further? Look carefully. Yes, we have like terms. We have a 4 and a minus 6. What is 4 minus 6? Y is equal to 3x minus 2. Is that the same as our rule? Yes, so we have proven that these two are in fact equivalent. Okay. Okay, this is going to take long, but let's just do number 1. Okay, let's just do number 1. Let's find the rule quickly here. Okay, 10, 7, 4, 1, negative 2, negative 5. Nice sinyane, negative 3. We're subtracting 3. So then 3 becomes my multiplier. Okay, negative 3. So then negative 3 times negative 1, what does that give us? That gives us 3, but I want a 10. So what do I have to do? I have to add 7, and that gives me 10. Okay, if I tried with 3, that would be negative 3 times 3. What's negative 3 times 3? That's negative 9. And if I add 7, that's negative 2. Is that my desired result? Yes, so my rule is y is equal to negative 3x plus 7. Okay, guys.